How are you
Yes,
doing?
yes. I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. How about you?
Thank you for asking. I'm also good, George. So, George, first of all, like from my end, I would like to know, like, what do you do for your living?
Actually, I'm Spanish teacher, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, I teach Spanish both in an institute as well as in other language teaching academies.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, George, I would like to know few things, like as our Henry Harvin viewers want to know, like, why should one learn a Spanish language?
Because nowadays there is a high demand for Spanish experts, both from
Okay.
teaching institutions as well as other MNC companies are looking for Spanish experts because as it is the second most spoken language worldwide, and
Okay.
also many Latin American countries are extending their views. Therefore, there are
Mm-hmm.
many Spanish experts are required. Ma'am. That's the reason I would say.
Okay. So, like, next question to you is like, what is the best way, if I talk about, is to learn the Spanish language?
Best way I would say for beginners always to begin with an accompanying tutor. Okay, so in advanced level, of course, one can learn by himself or herself, but to begin with always with an accompaniment of a tutor
Okay,
while
okay.
learning
I
a
would say
language.
with the under the guidance or the mentorship of a person, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So the beginner should start learning a language because as they are fresher to the language, they don't know how to pronounce the words. So that is maybe the reason that you required a person to take a mentorship or the guide who can guide them to pronounce the words correctly, right?
Definitely, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. That sounds good. Okay. So what makes, I would say, every language, that's when it comes to French, German. So now here we are talking about Spanish. So I would like to know, like, what makes Spanish language too difficult to learn?
I would say that there are expressions which are different from English or any other languages,
Mm-hmm.
which even we tutors uh, find it express or to explain to the students because there is no equal sentences, equal expressions in any other language.
Okay, there are certain expressions which are difficult to pronounce. Else, if you start learning a language with proper, I would say, with consistency, you can be a fluent speaker, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So like every language has like kind of a bench, but though learning is always an ongoing process. Okay, but still I have a question in my mind, like how long does it take for a person to get masters over a Spanish language?
I would say minimum period of 6 months, ma'am. Minimum period of 6 months.
Minimum period of a 6 months is required to get masters over a Spanish language.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. So what when it comes to Spanish language, so my question to you is the Spanish language declining, or day by day the demand of Spanish language is increasing?
It's definitely growing, ma'am. It's
Okay.
growing. So the method that I use is I always create an atmosphere in my classes for the learners to interact with, to find ways to use whatever I teach. I just
All right.
don't teach and then let my students, yes, go on. I have taught. No, I don't leave my students that way. Whatever I teach, I want my students to practice that day itself. That's what makes my
Okay.
teaching stand apart. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So, like like what are the basically, if I talk about what can be the career opportunities that can come to an individual after learning the Spanish language or getting master over the language?
Yes, one can work right from tutor, trainer,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trainer, then interpreter, translator, tourist guide, even people with master degrees in business
Haha.
are wanted by very many MNC companies. Is plenty for the Spanish experts now.
Okay. So as you have answered number of questions to us, so now at last I would like to know, like you are working into this field from so many years. Okay, you have a good expertise over a language. Okay, so like with all of certain expertise, like how much money do you make in a year with this skill of a Spanish language?
Yes, ma'am. I make almost 7L per annum.
Okay, that sounds good. Like with such good numbers, with such Spanish language skill, you are gaining so much of, monetary value. Thank you so much, George, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.